As 2025 draws to a close, the Taiwan Strait has once again become the epicenter of global tension, capturing the attention of governments and citizens around the world. The narrow stretch of water separating Taiwan from mainland China is now a flashpoint, with the potential to reshape the balance of power in East Asia. In a dramatic escalation, China has launched its largest military exercises in years near Taiwan, deploying squadrons of advanced fighter jets and a formidable fleet of warships. The sheer scale and sophistication of these maneuvers leave little doubt about Beijing's intent. A clear and unmistakable show of force, aimed at both Taiwan and the international community. These drills are far from routine. They simulate a full-scale blockade of Taiwan's most vital ports and coordinated assaults on key maritime targets, sending a powerful message about Beijing's willingness to use military power. The exercises are designed to test China's readiness for a potential conflict, while also intimidating Taiwan and warning its allies. The inclusion of live-fire exercises with real missiles and heavy weaponry dramatically increases the risk of miscalculation or accidental escalation. Regional and global observers are on high alert, concerned that a single mistake could trigger a much larger crisis. For Taiwan, these maneuvers represent not just a military threat, but a direct challenge to its autonomy and way of life. The island's government and people are reminded daily of their precarious position, living under the constant shadow of a powerful neighbor. Around the globe, newsrooms break the story, and world leaders monitor developments with growing concern. The implications of China's actions extend far beyond East Asia, raising fears of a broader conflict that could draw in major powers and disrupt global stability. The world is left to grapple with a pressing question. What does this dangerous escalation mean for Taiwan's future, and for the peace and stability of the entire Asia-Pacific region? In response to the recent escalation, Japan has voiced strong concern, urging China to de-escalate and exercise restraint. Japanese officials have emphasized the importance of dialogue and transparency, warning that further military actions could destabilize the entire region. On December 31st, Japan's foreign ministry, through Press Secretary Toshihiro Kitamura, condemned the drills as destabilizing and counterproductive. Kitamura stressed that such maneuvers threaten not only the security of Taiwan, but also the peace and stability of the broader Asia-Pacific region. The Japanese government has called for all parties to act with caution and responsibility. Japan has formally communicated its worries to Beijing, making clear that these actions cross a line. Through diplomatic channels, Tokyo has delivered a strong message, urging China to reconsider its approach and to respect international norms. The language is measured but firm. Tokyo is standing up for regional stability while managing a complex relationship with China. Japanese leaders are balancing the need for open communication with the necessity of defending their national interests and the security of their neighbors. As a major economic power and a key U.S. ally, Japan's stance carries significant weight in the Asia-Pacific. Its response is closely watched by other regional players who look to Japan for leadership and stability in uncertain times. By speaking out, Japan reinforces the principle that disputes must be resolved peacefully, not through intimidation or force. Tokyo's call for dialogue and negotiation highlights its commitment to upholding international law and maintaining a rules-based order in the region. The world is watching, and Japan's message is clear. The peace and stability of the Taiwan Strait is not negotiable. Any threat to this delicate balance is a matter of global concern, not just a regional issue. The international community will not remain silent in the face of rising tensions. As Japan takes a stand, it encourages other nations to join in supporting peace, stability, and the rule of law in East Asia. Japan's anxiety is rooted in geography, history, and national security. Taiwan lies close to Japan's southwestern islands and vital shipping lanes. Any conflict would threaten Japan's economy and energy supplies. Historical ties, including Japan's colonial rule over Taiwan, add layers of complexity and responsibility. A Chinese-controlled Taiwan would give Beijing direct access to the Pacific, undermining Japan's security and shifting the regional balance of power. For Tokyo, Taiwan's fate is not just a foreign issue, it's a matter of national survival. The stability of a democratic Taiwan acts as a crucial buffer for Japan. That's why every development in the strait is watched with intense focus in Tokyo. The prospect of losing this buffer is a nightmare scenario for Japanese defense planners. At the heart of the crisis is China's unwavering One China principle, a core tenet of its national identity and foreign policy. This principle asserts that there is only one China, and that Taiwan is an inseparable part of its territory. For Beijing, this is not just a political stance, but a matter of sovereignty and historical legacy. Taiwan is seen as a breakaway province, not a separate nation. Any suggestion of independence is met with fierce opposition from the Chinese government, which views such moves as a direct threat to its territorial integrity. Beijing reserves the right to use force for reunification, especially if Taiwan declares independence or if foreign powers attempt to intervene. This policy is enshrined in Chinese law and is a clear warning to both Taipei and the international community. The recent military drills are a direct message. To Taiwan, resistance is futile. The overwhelming display of force is meant to deter any thoughts of breaking away. To the world, the message is equally clear. Any intervention will come at a steep price, and the risks of escalation are real. China is showcasing its growing military might, warning the US and Japan against interference. The presence of advanced weaponry and large-scale maneuvers is designed to demonstrate that China is prepared for any scenario. These exercises are a form of coercive diplomacy, using the threat of military action to shape political decisions and influence the behavior of both Taiwan and foreign governments. By flexing its military muscle, Beijing hopes to intimidate its adversaries and force them to reconsider their support for Taiwan's autonomy. For Xi Jinping, reunification is central to his vision for China's future. He has repeatedly stated that the Taiwan issue cannot be passed down from generation to generation, signaling a sense of urgency. The PLA's presence is now normalized in the strait, with regular patrols and exercises becoming a routine part of the region's security landscape. This is part of a long-term strategy to pressure Taiwan, gradually increasing the sense of encirclement and testing the resolve of both Taipei and its allies. The world must recognize these drills as more than posturing. They are calculated moves designed to shift the balance of power and send a warning to all who might challenge Beijing's claims. They are preparation for a possible campaign, signaling that China is willing to act if its red lines are crossed, and that the stakes for the region and the world are higher than ever. The Taiwan Strait is a global choke point, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. Any conflict or blockade would disrupt global trade, causing shortages and economic chaos. Taiwan's dominance in semiconductor manufacturing means a crisis would cripple industries worldwide. The strait's stability is a test of the international order. Will disputes be settled peacefully or by force? A Chinese takeover would shatter decades-old norms and encourage aggression elsewhere. The world's prosperity depends on peace here. The stakes are global, not just regional. That's why countries from North America to Europe join Japan in calling for restraint. The unraveling of peace in the strait would have consequences for everyone. Amid rising tensions, Japan champions dialogue over confrontation. Tokyo insists that Taiwan's future must be resolved peacefully, not through military threats. This approach is rooted in Japan's post-war commitment to diplomacy and the rule of law. Japan urges both Beijing and Taipei to engage in sincere talks, emphasizing that war would bring only devastation. In every forum, Japan works to build consensus for a non-military solution, reassuring allies and pressuring China to moderate its actions. Japan's call is clear: respect democracy, reject coercion, and keep the door open to peace. The Taiwan crisis unfolds amid worsening Japan-China relations. Economic interdependence is overshadowed by territorial disputes and strategic rivalry. Tensions spiked after Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi suggested possible military intervention if China attacked Taiwan, a statement Beijing saw as a grave provocation. This marks a shift in Japan's security posture, with debates over defense spending and new military capabilities. China views these moves with alarm, fueling a cycle of suspicion and escalation. Diplomatic trust is low, making crisis management even harder. The Taiwan flashpoint now directly tests the fragile ties between Asia's two largest economies. The Taiwan Strait standoff is part of a wider Indo-Pacific arms race and strategic rivalry. China's military intimidation is intensifying, while Taiwan boosts defense spending to deter invasion. The U.S. position is ambiguous. Security ties remain, but direct commitments are less clear, adding uncertainty. Economic friction grows, with new tariffs and Taiwan leveraging its semiconductor dominance in negotiations. Taiwan seeks deeper economic ties with the U.S. as strategic protection. Every move triggers countermoves, creating a volatile security dilemma across the region. The Strait is the most dangerous flashpoint, but the entire Indo-Pacific is on edge. One miscalculation could reshape the global order. As the year ends, Japan's vigilance in the Taiwan Strait is a declaration of its commitment to stability. Japan closely monitors China's military moves, coordinating with allies to deter aggression. This is about more than national interest. It's about defending a rules-based order that underpins global peace. A conflict over Taiwan would disrupt economies, trigger wider wars, and cause immense human suffering. Japan's stance anchors stability in a turbulent region. The world must pay attention. The stakes are high for every nation. Through deterrence, diplomacy, and dialogue, there's hope to avoid catastrophe. As 2026 dawns, the world watches, hoping for peace in the Taiwan Strait.